Pincus here, and we are today finishing up an advanced pistol handling class at Blackwing Shooting Center here in Ohio. This is kind of my home range, great facility, and we've got 3 staff CFS instructors here, and today Andy Leffler is working with me on, again, the day 2 of an advanced pistol handling class. They ran a CFS class over the weekend, started this one yesterday. Advanced pistol handling is our follow-on course from combat focus shooting. I think it's an incredibly important course for someone who's going to do more than just a day or 2 of defensive firearms training. If somebody really just wants the fundamental level of skill that they're probably going to need to defend themselves or those they care about outside or inside the home, the combat focus shooting is the program. We always said that there's not combat focus shooting level 2, level 3. We constantly evolve the course, and every course that you take is going to be the latest, greatest that instructor has to give you. So we're now in our 10th year of combat focus shooting as of September 2013. We're starting that month-long celebration next week. The advanced pistol handling is a course that also is about 10 years old, although it's evolved at least as much, if not more, than the combat focus shooting program in terms of what we cover and why we cover it. We always say that combat focus shooting is designed to help you be more efficient in the context of what you're most likely to face. So we want you to deal with the most likely scenarios, 9 to 15 feet, single attacker, caught off guard, multiple round string of fire, shooting at extension, all of those things. The advanced pistol handling course expands the circumstances under which you can apply the skills that you learned in combat focus shooting. So combat focus shooting, primarily we deal with two-handed shooting, maybe some one-handed shooting, and we do it all from standing. In the advanced pistol handling course, we have 2 primary blocks of information, groups of instruction that we have. Group number 1 is what we call the unorthodox shooting positions. That's everything but standing squared off facing your target. Off to the right, off to the left, behind you, all levels, kneeling, seated, seated in a chair, seated on the ground, seated in a car, lying on your stomach, lying on your back, lying on your weak side, lying on your strong side. So we say 360 degrees around and 360 degrees around in both planes. We give you a solution for all of those. Now we don't obviously draw and fire at every exact angle, but if you have dealt with to the front while seated, and you've dealt with off to the side while seated, and you've dealt with straight in front of your chest, and you've dealt with lying on your stomach and shooting straight out in front of your head, you can put all the pieces together to figure out how to shoot at a 45-degree angle offline, 45-degree angle up from where you normally have practiced. So we give you that. We call it the ball of doom. You've got everything covered in all the directions that your human body can actually get the gun. And very importantly, we teach you how not to cover yourself during presentation. So we teach you to move parallel with your thigh, not come across your body and cover your legs when you're in the seated positions down on the ground. The other side of advanced pistol handling is the gun handling side, the pistol handling side, and that is where in combat focus shooting we teach you two-handed shooting, two-handed reloading. We do some one-handed shooting as if you were pushing somebody off to the side or holding them behind you, and then when you hit slide lock, you do your two-handed reload. In this class, we teach you one-handed gun handling, so one-handed reloads. And we also get into weak-handed shooting a lot more than we do in combat focus shooting, and we get into weak-handed reloads as well. Again, not very likely that you would ever need any of this kind of stuff, but not only is it cool to learn when you're an advanced student, when you're putting more time, effort, and energy in, but it also builds your confidence. And when you understand the physics and understand the principles we use two-handed are exactly the same as what we use one-handed or weak-handed, it reinforces, I think, the confidence and competency when it comes to the standing up, squared away, hit slide lock, doing your two-handed reload stuff. So I think that's really valuable as well. The other things that we do are malfunction drills. I always say that malfunctions are not a fundamental defensive shooting skill. If your gun is so unreliable that you need malfunctions as a fundamental skill, buy a new gun. Don't obsess over learning malfunction drills. Get a different gun. And that's a reality. For people who are going to come to these training classes spending hundreds of dollars on tuition, another set of hundreds of dollars on the ammunition, and you've already invested hundreds of dollars at least in your equipment, plus maybe travel, things like that, buy a new gun. Buy a gun that is reliable. We stress that. So clearing a malfunction becomes an advanced skill. Of course, we teach a non-diagnostic linear malfunction drill. It's something we started 4, 5, 6 years ago. You hear other people talking about non-diagnostic malfunction drills also. I think it's incredibly important. I think it's a real evolution in the training industry that you aren't looking at your gun to figure out if you have a type 1 or type 17 malfunction. You have what you have. Fix it. The gun's not working. Tap rack, go through a reload process. If you can't do that, complex reload, get it running. We get a lot of practice at that. We even let people practice their malfunction drills one-handed and weak-handed as well. Not for a lot of practical application, but again, to understand the principles and to build the confidence. Some of the other things that we work on is we work on shooting around cover in the advanced pistol handling class. Not something you're likely to do as a civilian, that you're going to be shooting around cover in your defensive counter-ambush shooting moment, but it's a good advanced skill, and it's an unorthodox shooting position because you're off balance. If you're doing it right, your lower body is completely behind the cover and you're leaning out. Leaning out makes it an off-balance, unorthodox shooting position, so we include it in this class. Overall, the 2-day advanced pistol handling class is designed to make the shooter much more well-rounded, to give them a little mental map for how to solve things that are much less likely to occur in an actual fight, build their confidence, and of course increase their ability to do the simple things at a higher level. They're going to be able to be more efficient, more confident, be less cognitively involved in all those little steps, because it's so easy to do these things once you've practiced them at a higher level, different body positions. One of the core things we do throughout the class is what's called a flow drill. A flow drill is where you're constantly moving with the gun in your hand in the ready position, or just moving through a variety of different levels and positions with the gun in the holster, and then you'll get commands at random intervals that'll force you to drive the gun out and shoot regardless of where your body happens to be, the angle you happen to be at, or get that leg clear, or get your hand to the gun and efficiently and safely get the gun out onto the target in a variety of different body positions as well. So the flow drill is sort of our equivalent of the balance of speed and precision drill, which is so fundamental to CFS, and we do a lot of different ways, a lot of different distances. In the advanced pistol handling class, we use the flow drill in the same way. The last piece of the puzzle in the gun handling is the extreme precision. So we really expand the shooter's ability to get precise shots, whether that means extended distance or on an indoor range, we go to extremely small targets. Some of the fundamentals are the same, but behaviorally we know that shooting at a small target is very different from shooting at an extended distance target, but that has a lot to do with what range we're on. So in an outdoor range, we might shoot at 50, 75, 80, 100 yards. At an indoor range, we may take the targets all the way down to really chasing bullet holes and trying to be that precise. And we talk about some of the techniques you can use that aren't your standard body weight forward, full extension, engage the shoulders, driving out and shooting kind of positions, but also straightening up to support some of the body weight, and even dropping that elbow and locking this arm rigidly, full extension out, locking the arm back in to really increase our ability to be precise. So there's a lot going on inside of the advanced pistol handling class. Obviously, I love for everybody who takes CFS to come back and take it, but not everybody has the training resources or the training interest, certainly not the training need to take this class, which deals with much less likely situations. So we usually see about 15 to 20% of our CFS students eventually, within a couple years, come back and take the advanced pistol handling class. Hope to see you in both the CFS and APH classes at some point. Thanks.
I just want to reiterate that before you come here, before I came, you kind of go through things in your mind thinking, if this or that was to occur, this is what I would do. This class really opens your eyes, not only to fundamentals of where to be, how to move, but like we were talking earlier with whatever your equipment is. Took it another step beyond, the FCS yesterday kind of gave us an idea, but today, because of those awkward positions, those unorthodox shooting positions, you really find out how you and that equipment mesh.
Overall, just extremely impressed with the entire curriculum with CFS and APH. I would recommend this to anybody based on, I can't argue with anything because it's based on facts, it's based on natural reactions of the body, and opening my eyes to how that really works as, maybe I previously thought differently.
Just doing malfunction clearing. I've seen your method before in DVDs and videos, but until actually going through it and seeing how it was easy to get caught up in misinterpreting slide lock versus the click, and actually going through it, that I really feel like I could actually do that. Whereas before, it's something I sort of avoided training because I couldn't quite wrap my head around it.
I'd tell anyone that especially does any pistol work that maybe doesn't get pistol training, like private security guys. I know from experience, we had like 2 days of pistol training, and we were out there carrying our pistol training. So seeking out something like this would be beneficial to them, because there's an assumption, I think, made that they know how to do all this stuff and could do it in a fight, but in reality, the assumption is far from reality.